Okay, I want to share with you about valves. And there's a lot of different variations that we can talk about when it comes to valves. So there are different places in the body that have valves as a regulation mechanism. So in our bowels, we have different spots where it transitions from the small intestine to the large intestine, and then also down and out from the large intestine through to the rectum. And those are called your Houston and Ileocecal valves. Those are major control points, and when those are clogged, they can affect other valves and other regulation checkpoints in the body. In particularly, they can affect the heart. So people that have some palpitations or arrhythmias may also have some dysregulation happening in the ileocecal and Houston valves. So if you have a lot of constipation, these are likely not working well. So that would be another correlation to work with. So constipation, heart palpitations, having a lot of back pain or hip pain, you would want to work with a couple things. So in terms of the Houston and ileocecal valves, they can get really stuck. And there's a couple different ways that we can work with them. So first of all, the location of them. If you come to your hip bones and you put your hands on the big wings of your hip bones, it's like a big wing that kind of comes around here. So you can kind of feel the top of the wing within your waist area. If you put your hands on that and then you slide them forward, so you're just, you're on the abdomen, but you're also kind of hitting the inguinal canal, right? Right where the legs and the rest of the pelvis attach. So it's in here. You push in, okay, and then you can pull up with a breath. And you're going to start to open up and lift up those valves. So you go in, you push up, you hold that, and you exhale, you let it go. And you do this for at least 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15, 20 times. And you let it go. So the one thing I want to share about energy medicine and the body in general in terms of making corrections is that sometimes we need to do it frequently, okay? And sometimes we need to hold a little bit deeper. And so you'll make the change. It's like, oh, okay, I feel a bit better, but then it seems to slide back. Don't get discouraged. You're literally changing a habit. You're changing your physiology. Sometimes you really got to dig in, and I don't mean dig into the point of pain, but persistence. You need to have persistence when you're working with some of this stuff, and you will change your health. And when you're doing this, you're going to start to open up those valves, and that will start to help the regulation through your entire body. Any place where there's a valve, when these valves are working properly, everything else starts to work really well. I have known many people that have had heart palpitations. They work on these valves and their heart completely settles down. So especially if you're in a case where you also have chronic constipation, you want to work the valves, even if you don't have heart things going on. But if you have both, then you know you really need it. So again, you keep working them up, and at some point, you're going to just flush it into like a normal, just like, it's not that you want them to be wide open all the time, okay? The point is that you want them to be able to open and close when they're supposed to. So we don't want to just offer upward all the time. At the end of it all, you come to the sides of your hips and you give a nice sweep down and off. So I would suggest going through a number of rotations that way. So you're going to go up and hold and pull up and then let it down. And then again. 3 or 4 or 5 times like this, and then you would do a downward sweep. Okay, now we want to get the whole body working together in a conversation. Most of the energy flow in our body is from head to toe or toe to head, okay? There's only one flow that really goes across the body, and it's called our belt flow. Our belt flow emerges from the low back here in what's called our Ming Men. That's the fire gate of life. That's like the pilot light in your furnace. That's the thing that disperses all of your energy, okay? So you want to come in here, you want to rub it. You want to move that energy. And then you want to start to bring that energy around the body, okay? You want to take your hands and pull all the way around. Now I'm not being super duper soft. I could be, and that's okay too, but you also do want to move the fascia. And energy goes deep all the way to the inside of the cells, all the way into the bones. So having varying levels of pressure is helpful because again, you want to move your physiology. So you're going to sweep across. And a little memory technique is, oh, my belt, my pants are falling down. So I'm sweeping right off my toe. Okay, so in case we couldn't see that, I'm coming down the sides of the leg and off the toe. Since you're down here, another little place, not that it's a valve, but they're gates. You can go between the feet and you're going to rub in between the webs. So if you imagine this is your foot, you can see the ligaments, okay, and in between the bones. So I'm taking my hands and I'm clearing my gates. For most people, it's very sensitive, okay? You're going to clear that while you're down there. You're going to come up. You're going to do the other side. You're going to activate your Ming Men. You're going to pull all that energy forward. You're going to pull across. Okay. Pulling and pulling and pulling. My belt, my pants are falling down. I'm down here. I'm going to work my gates. You can work your gates. So I'm taking like fingers. Imagine you're holding like a coin to do a scratch ticket, okay? I'm going in between. And I'm waking that up. You can take your fingers and press and knead like you're kneading dough. Okay, you don't have to hurt yourself, but it will be tender, so you know you need it. So you can revisit a few times a day. If you do this stuff 2 or 3 times a day, you're going to have a lot more energy flow. You're going to start to feel lighter. You're supposed to have more balance in your bowel movements and more kick in your step and less pain in your body, more groundedness and connection. Okay, so that's kind of working more deep into the body. Then you can finish with doing some work in the field. So what's called the equator belt or the equator flow. So that's more of like an energetic flow. Okay, so there's this bubble around us. Okay, there is your entire aura, and within the aura there's all these different sweeping figure eights. There's little ones and big ones, and then there's little vortexes with the chakras, and so there's all these micro energies that are moving to keep the body connected. So right around this whole belt flow and valve area, we have the equator flow. So you can just do some nice figure eights all the way around, and you can move it out into your field. The biggest thing with energy medicine and working with your body to get healthy is making more connections so that they hold more deeply. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, gosh, I'm really moving this energy, but I think I need to cross all the energy in my body. So you're going to add in maybe a bit of cross crawls. Okay, some way to do this. Now, if your mobility is not good, you can sit and cross. Most of the stuff you can do sitting down. You know, if you're not in a place where you can really get up and move, then you can find other ways to get your body to cross. Even just holding across the body is very useful. So getting some of those cross crawls in. And then I'd also say just to pull the energy down from your shoulder to your opposite hip. This is going to take down a little bit of our stress response and get our head sinking down and trusting into our core being. And then, you know, you can finish again with it, just repeating again. You just keep getting everyone talking. So I'm going to do a little bit more belt flow and down and off the foot. So that's an excellent way to get going. If you wanted to add 1 or 2 more things, you would want to go up central meridian, and you notice I stretch my neck to really get that. It ends about here. And then to go up governing meridian, again, I'm stretching my neck and pulling up and over and to about here. And then finishing with the hook up, taking your middle fingers, 1 in the belly button, 1 between the eyes. You push in and press up. And you hold that inward and upward pressure as you breathe in and out naturally. 3 to 5 breaths, 2 to 3 minutes. And at some point, your body's going to hook up and you'll often have a big spontaneous breath. One thing that I notice is that people don't look to connect with the energy in the fingers. So when you're pressing in and pulling up, it doesn't have to be with great force, but it's more so inviting your fingers to connect to that central energy, connect to that governing energy. You're looking to find them. I'm finding them. And as I find them meeting my finger, I'm encouraging them to reconnect in a conversation. And you'll find if you have that curiosity in your fingers and that warmth and interest to say, come, join me and connect, that it'll be very effective for you, and you'll notice the shifts. At first it might be subtle or it could be profound, but ultimately your body will reconnect. So that's what I wanted to talk about. So just to recap, these valves are so important for regulating all the valves in the body, especially the heart. So if you're having constipation or heart issues, this is a good place to start.